Bereket, who is the CEO of the TDA. He joins us on the program now. Bereket, good morning. Thank you for your time today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Firstly, talk to us about the situation in Ethiopia. We've heard stories about the food crisis there. What is the situation, Bereket?
So yes, we are having one of the worst droughts in Ethiopia, particularly in southern part of the area where pastoral peoples live. We had 3 years continuous drought, which wiped out all the livestock, and people were empty-handed because of that, because their livelihood is based on livestock. So they lost that, and because of the political situation in other parts of the country, the government was busy with conflicts and civil war in the north. So these people were left alone, and nobody was responding to that. So the main reason is the drought. That's where we stepped in with the support of Tearfund New Zealand. We provided about food for about 21,000 people
Wow.
in the last 3 years.
That is incredible, and these are people who would not be able to survive without that support. In terms of the drought itself, has that situation improved at all, or is that still part of the current crisis, Bereket?
The situation is not improved, but what we are trying to do is we try to link a short-term food response to long-term development. We are looking for other options that can help people survive in that difficult environment. So
Yeah.
we provided some goats, we provide some chicken, and also provided some early maturing seed varieties, which are very resilient to drought. So we are trying to link that process, and that's what we have been responding. But the cycle is still there. So there are two seasons of rain: the March and the September rain. If they miss one, they end up in a drought. So that's the situation we have, and the situation not improved at all, because again the civil war is also going on.
Yeah. So responding with emergency food supplies, but also very much a sustainable model, teaching and encouraging people to change the way in which they live off the land. As you mentioned, traditionally people raise cattle. That's the traditional way in which people were able to take care of their families. With the drought, that's not possible. You've got some new ways for people to live sustainably off the land. Tell us about that.
So we are promoting what we call conservation agriculture. It has simple three principles: minimum tillage, covering the soil with mulch or any decomposable materials, and the third principle is crop rotation or intercropping. So we train farmers in these principles, and also we have other packages like making compost, integrating cover crops into the farm system. The whole idea is to improve soil fertility, and because of that, production increases. So farmers who have very small plot of land all of a sudden become food self-sufficient out of nothing, because of the mindset and because of the training that we have been providing, and that work is highly supported by our partner Tearfund New Zealand.
This is a tremendous transformation, even while the drought is able to continue, being able to tackle not just the emergency food crisis, but also a sustainable model. How many people, how many households are you impacting with the work of the TDA, Bereket?
We have huge number of the beneficiaries in this couple of 2 years time. We have, with different projects, we have like 600,000 people.
Wow.
It's not only one project, but we have projects that are working on agriculture, environmental care, food security, emergency response. So together we have impacted like 600,000
Wow.
beneficiaries in a couple of years.
That is tremendous stuff, and hey, big numbers here. The need is very big as well. If you could
Yeah.
introduce us to a particular individual, though, because it's sometimes difficult to get our head around the scale of this problem. But talk to us about anyone that comes to mind that you have helped, whose life has been transformed by this program.
Yes, thank you. We have many stories, human stories of change and transformation, but I want to mention a woman called Balainesh. She is from southern Ethiopia, and she's widow. Her husband died in some 14 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and she is living with her 6 children. She is woman,
Yeah.
and she's widow. She's very poor. Being woman and widow in Ethiopia is a very difficult situation because of cultural issues. She could not go to the farm and do cultivation because that is supposed to be men's job. So she gave away her land to someone who does the farming and gives half of what is produced, but the land was not well protected and well handled. So because of that, she was struggling to provide for her children. And in 2022, we targeted her to be our beneficiary because she is poor and widow woman. So
Mm.
we trained in conservation, agriculture, and all other packages that we have been doing training. So she was very receptive woman,
Mm-hmm.
very strong woman. She received the training very well, and she went back and did what we have trained her. So immediately, her production of maize increased fourfold
Yep.
because now the soil is very, very fertile. And in the second cycle, she diversified her production to taro, sweet potato, ginger, and other cover crops that we are promoting to use as a live mulch or to fix nitrogen and help us also a green mulch. So
Mm.
because of that, now she has got different types of food items which can be consumed as well as sold. So all of a sudden she became a very respected woman in her community, food self-sufficient, and we are also inviting her for our training so that she can tell her story to other new trainees.
Yep.
And also she herself is training her neighbors. And this is just one story out of many that we have seen the transformation. The only thing we did was mindset change training.
Yep.
Training was very important. Yeah.
Has it been a difficult process in some ways to encourage people who have lived a traditional way of farming for a long time? Has it been difficult to encourage people to change their mindset, to embrace new ways of doing things? Has that been a difficult part of the process, Bereket?
Yes, because we are doing something different. Traditionally, farmers used to cultivating the land 4 to 6 times. Now we are saying you don't need to plow the land 4 to 6 times. Just open the land, open the soil and put the seed and then cover it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something very opposite to what they have been doing for tradition for years.
Yep.
And it's very difficult to accept what we are training them, but we are coming from the church and they trust us, so they listen us. That's an advantage that we have because we go with our values and with our uh, church background. So people are keen to listen to us, and that helps us to undertake this kind of dramatic, different kind of training. So it was difficult for many of the farmers to accept that,
Mm-hmm.
but now we are gaining ground because of our position in the community.
And of course, you're able to demonstrate the difference that it makes in people's lives. You have the proof that the system works in that regard, which I'm sure is helpful. Just finally, Bereket, talk to us about the New Zealand connection, because there's a specific connection between Tearfund in New Zealand and the work that you're doing in Ethiopia. Talk to us about that special relationship.
So Tearfund New Zealand is one of the best partners we have. We connect through other Tearfund family networks, and they started with us some 7 years ago with this conservation agriculture program.
Yep.
They supported the program for about 4 years. Then they started also to support this food response. And Tearfund, the difference between Tearfund and others is whatever Tearfund raises, the fund directly goes to community. We are within the community. We are very close to community, and there is no other organization in between. Just whatever they raise here in New Zealand goes to us directly, and they are very good in terms of monitoring, building our capacity, and working together in every aspect in terms of transparency. So we are honored to work with Tearfund New Zealand.
It is a wonderful relationship, and it was wonderful to meet you as a part of Tearfund's 50th celebration here in New Zealand. Wonderful to have that connection and relationship between New Zealand and Ethiopia. If people wanted to find out more and to donate particularly to that program, tearfund.org.nz. Bereket, we wish you well in what God does next through this program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.